Join us as we delve into the secrets behind 20 of the most iconic moves in WWE. So, hit the notification bell and subscribe for daily wrestling videos. The proper execution of popular wrestling finisher moves. Using finishing moves in professional wrestling adds excitement and drama to matches, and several finishing moves have become famous over the years. However, these moves must be executed properly to avoid injury to the wrestler. This script discusses the correct execution of 3 popular wrestling finishing moves. The first move is the super kick, also known as sweet chin music. While this move is now overused in wrestling, it still needs to be delivered with caution. Wrestlers should have their hands up to cushion the blow and aim their kicks toward the shoulder or chest. The move should be delivered lightly to cause as little damage as possible. Wrestlers should also avoid slapping their thighs to make a loud sound, as this has received criticism in recent years. The Crossroads, performed by WWE star Cody Rhodes, is a popular finishing move that looks complicated and reasonably simple. The individual taking the move rotates and performs a front face bump. While some wrestlers even opt to spike their hair when taking the action, it is not recommended for those just starting to learn their craft. The Hurt Lock, popularized by Chris Masters in the Ruthless Aggression era and currently used by Bobby Lashley, is a submission move that requires proper pressure to be applied. Wrestlers should apply a little pressure and make a move look legitimate, but not too much that it becomes dangerous. If the wrestler is expected to escape the hold, then the pressure should be minimal to allow an easy escape. The Undertaker's Tombstone Piledriver, a deadly but iconic move in WWE history. The Tombstone Piledriver is considered one of the most devastating moves in WWE history. Perfected by The Undertaker, this move can be dangerous, but when performed by a professional such as the Deadman, no harm will come to the opponent. The key to executing the move safely is to ensure that the wrestler's head never touches the mat during the maneuver. To ensure The Undertaker doesn't drop his opponent, the opponent will wrap their arms around him, providing ample support as he falls hard onto his knees. For the move to be successful, both wrestlers must be on the same page and work together seamlessly. It requires a great deal of cooperation, but as long as both parties are in sync, everything should go according to plan. Despite its potential dangers, the Tombstone Piledriver remains an iconic move in WWE history, and The Undertaker is known for using it to devastating effect. With the right technique and a skilled performer, this move can be executed safely and effectively, leaving the audience in awe. The risks of wrestling moves, Styles Clash and STF. The Styles Clash and the STF are 2 wrestling moves that have caused injuries in the past. The Styles Clash, performed by AJ Styles, can lead to a broken neck if the opponent tucks their chin in during the move. Many wrestlers instinctively tuck their chin in during a match, which can lead to severe injuries. James Ellsworth, a wrestler, discussed this issue during a podcast and mentioned that it was a wrestler's instinct to tuck their chin in, which was the main reason for injuries caused by the Styles Clash. The STF, on the other hand, is John Cena's version of a submission move that has been criticized for its safety. The opponent's lower leg should be loosely locked behind the wrestler delivering the move, and the face lock style submission should apply little to no pressure. If this move is used with full force, it can cause extreme anguish. Therefore, wrestlers must be cautious and limit how much pressure is applied while performing this move. The safety of popular wrestling moves. In modern wrestling, German suplexes are an expected move, but it can be tricky to execute them safely. The wrestler taking the move should aim to land on their back or upper shoulder region to avoid a dangerous landing on their head or neck. WWE legend Mick Foley expressed his dislike for German suplexes on his podcast and believed that, over time, they could shorten careers and destroy the quality of life. The suplex is another fundamental move in wrestling that requires clear cooperation between the 2 wrestlers. The wrestler taking the move usually posts their hand on the wrestler's side, allowing them to flip over and take the suplex bump safely. The wrestler delivering the move keeps their hand under the wrestler's chin to protect their neck and ensure they land safely. Brock Lesnar's F5 finisher is iconic and incredibly safe when executed correctly. Lesnar performs a fireman's carry before spinning his opponent in the air and making them land on their front. He releases his opponent in a way that allows for a safe landing, making it difficult for the wrestler to land on their head, as long as the wrestler delivering the move is skilled. The mechanics and safety of wrestling finishing moves. In professional wrestling, finishing moves are an integral part of a wrestler's repertoire. These moves are designed to be visually impressive and leave a lasting impression on the audience. However, safety is also a key concern, and wrestlers must perform these moves with caution to avoid serious injury. One such move is the Widow's Peak, a finishing move performed by wrestler Victoria. This move involves holding the opponent's chin loosely while applying pressure quickly, making it look sinister but safe when done correctly. Wrestlers who take this move can also add their unique sell to make it look even more impressive. Another finishing move that is visually impressive but underused is the Razor's Edge. Sheamus uses a variation of this move known as the High Cross, which he reserves for big matches. This move involves lifting the opponent over the wrestler's shoulders in a cross position over their head. To land safely, the wrestler must perform a standard back bump and extend their arms to protect their lead. While these moves may look dangerous, wrestlers are trained to perform them safely to avoid serious injury. These moves can be much safer than they appear if they are done correctly and with the proper technique. As with any sport, safety is a top priority in professional wrestling, and wrestlers take great care to perform their finishing moves with caution and precision. The Frog Splash in WWE. The Frog Splash is a popular wrestling move that has been around for years. It was made famous by wrestlers such as Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam, and it is still used today by wrestlers like Kevin Owens and Montez Ford. However, wrestlers need to perform the move safely. When delivering the action, the wrestler should aim to land on their knees and forearms. This ensures they take most of the impact instead of their opponent. The wrestler taking the move should keep their arms in tight so that they don't absorb too much of the force when landing. Deconstructing wrestling moves, the secrets behind two popular moves. The world of professional wrestling is full of flashy moves that capture the audience's attention. However, what makes these moves work is not always what meets the eye. Look closely at two popular actions and the secrets behind their success. The first move, the Walls of Jericho, is a well-known submission held in professional wrestling. Chris Jericho's version of the Boston Crab is famous for how it looks painful and compelling. However, the main secret behind this move is pressure. When Jericho gets a grip on his opponent's legs, he barely applies any pressure. The reason it looks so painful is that the opponent's effective selling makes it appear as if they are in absolute agony. The opponent's acting makes a move credible and legitimate to the audience. The second move, the Body Slam, is featured in 99% of wrestling matches. It is one of the first moves taught to students at wrestling school, and its mechanics are relatively simple. The wrestler taking the body slam will use their hand to post on the wrestler's leg, allowing the wrestler to lift them and slam them to the mat safely. This technique makes the wrestler much lighter, enabling even small wrestlers to slam super heavyweights. It's also common for the wrestler delivering the move to realign their heads with the back of their opponent's head. This ensures the wrestler lands back first, avoiding a potentially horrific landing on their neck or head. The secret to safely executing wrestling moves. Wrestling moves may appear extremely painful for the wrestlers taking them, but there are ways to execute these moves safely. Here are some tips on how to do it. The leg drop. The leg drop is a famous move by Hulk Hogan, but even he admits that it hurts the wrestler delivering the action more than the one receiving it. In the cafe world, the move is performed with the wrestler landing on their opponent's neck, but in reality, the wrestler delivering the move should land on top of their opponent's chest with their leg bent to absorb the impact. GTS. The GTS, made famous by wrestler CM Punk, can be executed safely by the wrestler taking the move. The key is already having their feet on the ground when they are about to be hit by the wrestler's knee. They should then turn their head and land it safely on the wrestler's cushioned knee pad. The wrestler will then perform a back bump to sell the impact. The pedigree. To execute Triple H's pedigree move safely, the wrestler delivering the move must let go of the wrestler's arms, allowing the wrestler taking the move to fall safely. They must kick their legs out and land with a traditional front face bump as flat as possible to avoid awkward positioning. While some wrestlers prefer to land on their knees, this can cause severe long-term damage. In summary, these wrestling moves can be performed with proper techniques. These tips can help wrestlers avoid unnecessary injuries and continue serving in their careers. The secrets behind famous wrestling moves and finishes. In wrestling, executing moves and finishes safely is essential to avoid serious injuries. The pedigree. Wrestlers must master the front face bump to execute this move. To ensure the safety of the wrestler taking the move, the wrestler delivering the pedigree must let go of their arms, allowing the other wrestler to fall safely. The key is to land as flat as possible to avoid awkward positions leading to injury. Next up is the choke slam. Wrestlers must remember not to make legitimate contact with their opponent's throat. Instead, they should grip the chest and place the opponent's armpit on their shoulder, allowing the wrestler taking the move to elevate themselves up as high as they want to go. The wrestler taking the motion will then jump and perform a back bump, and the wrestler delivering the move will have to do very little to help. The coup de grace is a move often performed by monsters like Finn Balor. The motion is painful, but wrestlers can reduce it by landing on their back immediately after coming off the top rope. This way, most of the impact is taken by the back rather than the feet. However, this move should be left to wrestlers with decades of experience. Finally, the RKO is all about timing. Both wrestlers need to perform their distinct bumps at the same time. The wrestler delivering the move must jump forward and provide a back bump, while the wrestler taking action performs a front face bump safely. Some wrestlers have opted to take the move with a spike-style bump, a more complex way of taking the move that can lead to injury if not done correctly. If you have watched this video, comment below and join us in the next one.